Jim Klauck, aka Checker Pro Joe, here on the Checker Pro Radio Show, talking home improvement. Curb appeal's really important. You want to make sure that your home looks great and it's also safe. And it's important to have your concrete leveled, whether it is your driveway or your walkway, sidewalks, pool decks. And many of us, if we have a home that's been around for a while, it's likely our concrete has pitched a little bit. It's not totally level and smooth. So I brought the expert in Houston, Texas, in that field, Zachary Zaras, to the program. Zachary, how are you?
Well, I'm doing great.
It's great to have you here. So we've talked about this before on the program, the leveling of the concrete. That's what you do at Leveled Concrete. Great name, by the way. How long does it take for the process? So if you came out to my home to level my driveway, how long does it take to do this?
So the actual leveling part is rather quick. Most of our crews try to get any of the leveling and stabilizing done within about an hour. So the first hour they're trying to. Now that depends if you're out, 12,000 square feet of concrete, it's going to take a bit longer. If you have a standard, 700 square foot driveway with under an hour, I know up, northern side of town, even southwest side of town, we have some larger areas that are, 1,500 square feet of concrete on a long driveway. Those can take a little bit longer, but the leveling itself, generally about an hour. The overall process, when we start talking about doing joints and cracks and protecting all the concrete and doing that step above it, that extends the time frame a little bit. Most of our jobs run anywhere in the 3 to 5 hour range, as we can kind of do an entire job for most people. And if you add in some other power washing type services, it could extend into a second day just to give things time to dry. But the leveling itself is generally very quick. And like we talked about before, as soon as we're done, you really can drive on that driveway or any of the concrete and use it like normal.
It's an amazing fix. So a lot of people say, hey, I've got to break up my cracked concrete, have it taken out, and have that one piece out of the 4 re-poured. That's when you get the checkerboard deal. We don't want that, do we?
No, it never looks good. And then it never fails. Anybody puts heavy equipment on your concrete, they're likely to crack other pieces. They go into the yard, they're going to tear up your yard. You have sprinklers, they're going to tear those up. Anything under the sun, and it's multiple day process. It's a headache. It never looks good. And you're never really going to be happy at the end of the day. Whereas we can come in, we're not putting heavy equipment on your on your concrete for that matter. We're not going in your yard. The most we're doing is walking to and from your yard, setting hand tools in the yard or slinging a hose over the yard. So we're not damaging your grass. We're in and out, and you're not causing a mess. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, if you're there, you might know that we did the work, but if your friends or family come over, they're never going to realize that we did work there.
Unless it was so bad they had to park in the street all the time because they were worried about the big speed bump in your driveway.
They're going to wonder how it got fixed. They're not going to know how it got fixed. And so we leave a nice yard sign in there. So, if it happens at your house, it's like it happened at neighbors. So, letting people know that, hey, it can be fixed is the key. And trying not to just tear them up. So everybody has checkerboard driveways that don't match. It'd be nice if your neighbor's house looks great and yours does, it helps home values out. It doesn't help having one look worse than the other.
Would you say education is key? In other words, a lot of people don't know what you and I know about what you guys can do. And that's one reason why we do this here on the program, is to educate people so they understand you don't have to throw out the driveway or the walkway or the pool deck. Level concrete can come in and level it.
Yeah, education's major. And that's one of the things we've faced since I started the business is, if you don't know this isn't available, how are you going to know to call me? And so we are getting out there. We're trying to make it so people can know this is an option to be done, so you don't have to replace it. And, getting out there and things like this, to where videos help. If I can explain it to you all day long, but if I can't show you a video of it, it makes it harder for you to visually see what's going on. So education's major, whether it be home shows, community events, podcasts, radio shows, whatever we do.
Yeah, we have a link to your website in the description of this podcast. I encourage everybody to go look at the process because it's on Zachary's website, and it really will give you an idea of how quickly it can be done, how easily it appears to be done, and how quickly you can drive on your driveway. It's just amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love doing it. It's very, very fast. And all of our guys like it. It's a lot of fun. No job's the same. And customers love watching it.
It is something relatively unique, and you guys do solve a problem. And when you're solving a problem for someone, it's a nice feeling to solve that problem. And it also keeps you busy.
Yep.
Zachary, as always, thank you so much for joining me today on the program.
No problem. Thanks for having me.